Is that... Okay, that's... Hello and welcome everybody to the broadcast. This is Blugold Esports here. I am VBChu and...
I'm Spicy, and we are here today to broadcast the game of Blugold Esports versus Milwaukee School of Engineering Raiders.
And it looks like the game is about to start right now.
And we're looking at a heavy-hitting head-to-head match here in the Wisconsin League for Valorant Esports, as we have the 5 stacks of each respective school going head-to-head against each other here today on Breeze as the first map. We're finding starting lineups to kind of follow normal trends here, as we see an Omen, possibly a Viper coming out for MSOE as their smokes. Hotshot there already locking in, or hovering over the Viper, as we're looking at some sort of standard comps here today.
Incredible.
We can... Are we on camera still?
No, we're not.
Okay, I'm sitting down.
Looks like everyone begins to lock in as we have a double initiator Viper comp for Blugold Esports and a double controller Sky comp for the Raiders. Very different team comps.
And as we bring this game here to start, we do find the Blugolds here on defense here on Breeze, a sort of defender-sided map, kind of classically, even after the rework, taking away that tunnel there, connecting A site to CT. And we do have the Raiders there set up with that double controller to help take some space for him here on attack.
Honestly, the Halls removal is just brutal to the map.
I personally like it because it makes it less confusing for my small brain, but
I think you're wrong.
I additionally do like seeing a harbor here on Breeze. I think it's sort of an underutilized thing to just character to help kind of flexibly let teams approach different sites versus a static placement of a harbor smoke or
Harbor is
Viper
definitely
smokes.
an underutilized character in any skill level of the game.
Yeah, I would honestly consider myself a harbor main personally, even though
Speaking
I don't get to
of
play him as much as I would like to.
underutilized characters, how do we feel about Deadlock as a character?
Deadlock is one of the characters in Valorant, and as such, they're there.
Constantly seen as one of the...
You can just...
they're constantly seen as one of the least used characters, most underpowered characters. How can we see Deadlock getting a buff in the future?
I personally think she is an attempt that Valorant made to fill a niche there to contest Sage in the barrier sentinels. And it's kind of hard if she has such a long range on her utility to make it as able to passively hold like Cypher's trips are.
Exactly. Alright, it looks like we have 2 people on B, 3 on A as the Raiders attempt to take mid to... Actually, they're taking full map control defaults in here.
Yeah, we do see Raiders here in a 1-3-1 sort of setup to test the waters here against Blugold. The Esports as Blugold has now kind of switched it up into a 1-1-3. First opening shots, finding thick down on Sova a little bit there. About a quarter health. 2 standard buys coming in, a lot more util focused here on the defense side, and a bit of a lighter buy for attack.
Pushing through doors, KO flashes out.
Find 2 picks getting traded here. Thick gets traded out, Joey gets traded out. Raiders are at a man advantage, 4-2 here. Getting the plant down here on A around default.
Planted. Last player
Can
standing.
Zev find one? Answer is no, and the Raiders take
Weapon here.
game out 1-0. The round out 1-0.
Yeah, this is kind of what that sort of 1-3-1 setup that the Raiders brought into the opening round is supposed to do here, as it's more so to just kind of test the waters and hold map control with that Cypher there towards B main and Viper towards A, setting up that default wall to split across double cones. It's kind of just sort of there to start conditioning the defense to respect that space for the Raiders. As they bring 5 agents over here towards A main, up against Blugold's gamble stacking B there, and a 3-1-1.
5 people enter A as Thick is the only one manning A, taking a commanding entrance. Can Thick find one?
Cage trigger.
KO's taken out with a Guardian.
Kara off with 2 picks now at the start of the round here as he takes out both of the info characters here
One
for
enemy
Blugolds.
remaining.
Taking out a 3rd with Joy, 3k here for Karu. Looking for the 4th here against Hotshot. Hotshot takes out Karu and cooling him down here off this hot streak, picking up the Guardian.
Excellent kill.
Sprayed through the smoke there as Raiders are up 2-0 here at the start of the half.
Cypher finds hot shots.
Now remember, wipe the prints from your guns. It's just good crime scene etiquette. It goes here.
Is that good crime scene etiquette?
I would say so. I think the best stealth is leaving no witnesses personally, and it appears just Zhao did just that.
Why do you know so much about doing crime?
My legal counsel has advised me not to answer that question.
That's probably good advising. Alright, it looks like they are mimicking their first round with a 1-3-1 comp as Jet pushes into elbow.
It's a big knife though, coming out from Thick, finding that lurker there by B main.
Excellent.
Letting Coast and take a little bit of map control, but not finding any heads there to click on. As the Raiders are working their way up mid, going to find a bit of a scuffle here between the 2 Blugolds as both Coastin and Zev do get 2.
Zhao coming with the lurk. Can he find Coastin? He cannot.
That sky heal is pretty big there though, as they are in the man disadvantage here, but that health bringing back up there for just Zhao could make it a bit more.
Viper finds a pick on KO. Can Joey trade? Sky and Viper meet up in A main.
30 seconds left.
Joy finds a lurk from mid, gonna contest that angle against 2 players here.
One
Sky and
enemy
Viper
remaining.
finds one against VV1, loses the duel against Adrian as he gets traded out. Big full flash there on Zev. Adrian holding the angle by the spike is taken up by Coastin. And Blugolds take their first round of the half on the full buy, starting the game off 1-2.
Revealing area.
Very standard entrance to the game with a win, force buy, and a full buy beating the bonus. How can we see this evolve throughout the game?
Well,
Or the
you
half.
always want to try to take as much as you can out of that force round there in the second. Blugold's managed to only take out the 1 player, but thankfully they did manage to convert the full buy as we're now into the first rifle round of the game. Knife shot out there in A main, signaling that there's at least 1 player there. We see the Raiders shifting off of that A main, leaving Viper to lurk and hold that space as the 4 other players now are shifting towards B main off of the space kept by just Zhao there on the Cypher.
It certainly doesn't look like Blugolds have left B at all, as 4 people start to come up B main.
No, they do have 2 of their most solid anchors there in the form of Cypher and Viper, both able to play heavy stall off their utility in the trips and the mollies.
My ult's ready.
Adrian gets his ults.
Looking to dog here and get some info towards B, or possibly pop an ult to entry for them.
Love the smite judge.
Coastin find the smart pick off of the lurking VV1 there in mid. And
They
now off the
begin
back
the
of
push into B.
Scanning ahead. 30 seconds left.
Will we scan anyone? We will not.
Spike planted.
Plant goes down as that judge puts in work.
Last
Even man
player
count.
standing.
1v1 here to
finds
finish
one.
the round. Mystical against Thick. Mystical pulls it out for Raiders Esports there as they get the plant down off the back of that sky ult. Pretty pivotal round there in the first rifle round.
Very unfortunate for Blugolds.
Going forwards, do you think that Blugolds will change up their sort of kind of static defensive in playing here for the first sort of start to the half? As they've been kind of bouncing back and forth between a 1-1-3 and a 2-1-2.
I mean, it certainly does seem like nothing really could have been played better for Blugolds last round, with just a couple unlucky headshots.
Get out of my way.
Though we can definitely see what happens here as we no longer have a 2-1-2 comp for defense. We actually have a 1-3-1 as two people advance into A from mid. Carry takes out Cypher with ults. Did I get that name right?
Spike planted.
Poison's off. Not enough fuel.
Alrighty, here in the post plant now for the Raiders. They find Adrian behind stack there, and two players were in main. There's a find one tag there on the coast and knocking him out there by default. Quick tap in from Hotshot as both him and Zev try to work through this crossfire formed by Raiders.
Will VV1 find Hotshot?
Last player standing.
Zev gets a crucial pick off of Adrian as he sprays through the smoke hoping to find the stick.
VV1's lost.
Takes out both characters there with the 4K here to bring the Raiders up 5-1 here in the half.
Unfortunate.
4-1.
Very unlucky spray for Blugolds there. Or wall coming down.
Yeah, and as we look, they're still conditioning there with that default Viper wall there towards A, just to always leave the kind of contingent presence there and threat that they might take in A main. Or at least leave a player there to lurk for map control, but we're finding Raiders kind of working in a 2-3 off of B main and mid, as the Blugolds here are sort of gambling towards mid, kind of the tendency in the off round after they win to shift over towards B main.
Excellent shot from Hotshot, taking out 100 health from Cypher.
Yeah, and we see them now working off that pre-placed Viper wall there. Thick kind of lurking for a little bit of info. Is going to maybe bite off more than he can chew here as he swings. Gets one
Thick
pick,
takes
leaves
one.
with his life.
Can he find two?
That Harbor Ult is going to clear sight for them and give them a little bit of info. Off the back of that Cascade, hoping to take space. Thick gets knocked up behind the corner, gets traded out by Zev.
Excellent trade.
Spike planted.
Big Viper's Pit is going to mitigate some of that disadvantage they have from the man count. But that tag is going to knock out VV1 from the Hunter's Fury coming in. Adrian is going to get hunted down by the Wolf Pack as Blugolds take their second round of the half. 2-4 here. Blugolds Esports.
Amazing 4v1 from Blugold.
Thank you.
Some big ults were thrown that round. It was a nice retake there off the back of the Hunter's Fury. Thankfully neutralizing that Viper's Pit before it could sink its fangs into any of the Blugolds players. We're going to be on a bit of a goofy bye here, but mostly full rifles there for both teams.
Looks like Adrian's going with a Stinger while Zhao goes with a Sheriff. Very inconsistent buy for all players here. Oh wait, no. Thick was just dropping his gun.
Yeah, we see Blugolds going back to that 2-3 that worked from last round, sending 3 players mid for some early info. Thick kind of holding that A main off that default Viper wall.
4 people coming up A with only Thick left on sites. They appear to be committing. Can Cypher find one mid? He does.
Just out with a big timing there as they get both Thick and Coastin the two closest players there for the A site, as they're now in the post plant, up in man advantage, 5-2. As Bluegolds are looking to take out a little bit of economy here from the Raiders, and passively maybe go get a save or two. What do you think of the new Orion bundle?
Orion bundle.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of disappointing. To be honest, it looks like the Blugolds are saving this round.
Camera taken out.
Can Sky find Joey?
Smooth and effective round there for MSOE Raiders, as they don't lose a single player with a flawless round.
Excellent round for the Raiders.
Bluegolds may be looking to take a timeout here and sort of readjust their game plan, or just going off the fly here as they're bringing two players over towards A, leaving Thick to kind of cover mid there with that early recon dart for info. Do you have any comments?
I don't believe so. Going back to the Orion bundle, I do believe it's a frankly underwhelming bundle. Definitely had a lot of potential as a bundle, but was kind of let down.
Yeah.
Very cool concept.
Toxins going up.
As we're seeing with visual effects.
Yeah. We have heavy stall coming in there from the Bluegolds Viper as they invest a wall, orb, and molly in to stuff out that A main push. We see him quickly shifting for the Raiders. 5-man take coming into the Cypher there on B. Joey hopefully going to be able to stall out this push or at least get a pick. Gets knocked out right away. Set up kaput there on site as Bluegolds are looking to retake into the 5-man Raiders team there on site.
Spike planted.
Zeb does find one with the recon dart, but cannot get a kill as Adrian takes out Kostin.
We have one Bluegolds player coming through CT and two through mid as they're looking to fight into this, but the off angle knocks out Zev. He gets traded out by Hotshot. Thick takes one, bringing the man count more manageably to 3-2 here. Though Thick does have a tiny smidgen of health with the flank coming in from mid there from Adrian. Knocks out Thick. One player left there for Bluegolds.
Enemy remaining.
1v1 here as he taps.
Does Hotshot know where Cypher is?
He does now by that noise, but he does
Nobody
not have
takes
enough
the
time to
kill.
defuse as
Excellent 4K from Viper here.
manages to save the gun but not the round. Score here is 2-6 Bluegolds MSOE Raiders here. About a quarter of the way through this game.
And a timeout starts on Bluegold's side.
Adjustment. What I'm looking for here in an adjustment from Bluegolds is to maybe be a bit more proactive in their rotates throwing early, because the only times that they've managed to push off the Raiders from fast hit through either one of the mains is by investing a solid bit of their utility, which they might be looking to do again here, sending Viper there towards A. And with that being said, they may kind of sort of wish to gamble stack off the bet that if they throw that wall, orb, and molly, or all that util and dump it into A main, they might push the Raiders back to the other side and hopefully fall into their kind of like trap stack, is what I would hope that they might be making an adjustment for. But we'll see as the timeout is now 10 seconds from coming back to the round.
Honestly, sounds like a great adjustment for Bluegolds. We
But
can see what they come up with this round. Cypher took a selfie.
Always love to do that with the cam. Honestly, information, don't need it. Memories with the team, the only thing you could wish for.
Exactly.
Bluegold's here now. Gamble stacking 3 on A and a 1-1-3 against the Raiders 4-1 here with alert coming through mid. Early pit investment finds no players on the other side of it. But hey, it's still pretty scary where it is.
Hotshot instantly pitting definitely puts pressure on the enemy team to not go A, as 5 people die off the bats on B.
And the Raiders do have a free B site, as we have both Keru and Giselle getting the spike down there. The lurk from mid being snuffed out there by Thick, as both him and Hotshot hope for a nice and easy retake here against the two Raiders players.
Thick and hot shot entering tunnel.
Sending that pocket wall to cut off and split the site, make it a little bit more manageable for the retake. Coming off angles with the molly. Knocks out, gets the trade there. Smokes for the tap. Goes up to clear backside. And did not expect him to just dry peek through the wall like that. But hey, Cypher's got to do what a Cypher's got to do.
Very unfortunate. You know, I heard you can pop flash with the cages.
I don't know where you heard that information from, but they may not have been telling the truth.
Come on, we get all of our pro strats from TikTok.
Of course.
It's the best place to find reliable information in 2023.
Blugold's back in the 1-1-3. Going to be feeling some of the hurt from the early investment of the Viper's pit, as they're behind an ult economy right now.
Cypher invests a camera which immediately gets shot out on B.
Heavy mid presence here, splitting up into A for the Raiders as they bring 3 players in off the back of the dog. High Tide cutting off site. Orange off site. Big shot from Thick into Viper in main. This carrier gets 2 as he enters on the site. Dashed in looking for a third, takes out Zev. 2 bullets in the mag, gets headshot by Zoe in the 1v3 here.
Amazing shot from Joey. Can he find Cypher? He unfortunately cannot, but it looks like he got quite a bit of damage off of Cypher and Harbor breaking their shields.
Hey, however much damage you get without getting a tombstone isn't worth a whole lot.
True.
As Blugolds are knocked back onto sort of a split low by 2 rifles and a kind of mixed bag for the other 3 players. They're going to probably send and split the rifles between the sites is what I would expect.
Deep breath.
As they're going back into 1-1-3 against the Raiders, 0-1-4. Knife only catching 1. Smart play from the Raiders.
Hotshot scoped in on main. Did I just jinx that?
I think Jinx is a character in a different game. But that Harbor
wait,
ult,
that's a lead character. Yeah, you're right.
yeah. 2 big ults coming in. The Seekers coming to kind of seek out some of the players there on the site. As the Harbor ult has no players coming off the back of it. Heavy
VV1
util
pushes
dumped in.
into A main, only to retreat as they rotate to B.
Yeah. Leaving the Viper there and the Cypher to hold some map control for them. Viper's pulling back, leaving just Sao there for some timing off the Blugold's players that are going to likely rotate through mid here soon. The Raiders stack up to try to take B site here from Joey. Going to walk into a full wombo combo Cypher setup. 2 cages set up just for the wall bangs. Half flash coming in. Not managing to get a player, but hitting 2 with trips.
Karu takes out Joey. Sky finds 1 at least. Tunnel. Hotshot enters arches. Will Sky catch him? He will.
One enemy remaining.
Trading shots here in mid, hoping to find their way back into the round. Unfortunately, the Blugolds get knocked out here. Nearly at the close of the half. 2-9 there off the hard-hitting site takes of the Raiders.
I mean, honestly, I believe that we can bring this back and close it out to 9-3. I don't know. I'm feeling a 13-3 game or 13-9
Hey,
game.
Hey, well, if they do manage to get this round, the classic 9-3 curse may come to bite the Raiders in the behind. As Thick gets an early pick off there. Viper trades Viper. Even man count here. No defensive wall utility from the Viper available for the
Can
Blugolds.
Kosen take out Cypher or even Jet here? He can.
Big op shot there. Setting his presence in mid. Backing off to not bite off more than he needs to.
Cage triggered.
Cypher pushes up to Nest, caging it off.
That pick in mid is big for this round as the Blue Golds find themselves up in man count.
It appears the Raiders are committing to B, spotting 2 trips right off the bat.
With no initiator, no duelist, it's really hard for him to take spaces. They're kind of sending in their Cypher as a pseudo
Excellent
duelist.
pick from Joey, leaving it 3-2.
But he does quickly get traded out by VV1 as 2 Raiders players are stuck here in the post plant, holding crosses with each other. But Thick manages to get a nice flank there off on Mystical. VV1 trades off shots with the op, hoping to find something. Is stuck there in backside against the 3 Blue Golds players. Not given an isolated 1v1.
Coast and misses. VV1 takes 3 and ults.
Manages to pit. Thick stuck there in the Viper's pit.
Will Zev find VV?
Hey, you know what they say, pros don't
Thick
fake.
will.
And Blue Golds don't here as they secure the possible 9-3 curse comeback at the end of the half.
Amazingly ending out the half 9-3, yes. So how do you think that the Blue Golds attack strategies will come out? It appears we have a party in T-spawn right now.
I'm thinking they're going to sort of form kind of their basis of attack off of a lot more info than the Raiders did, as they do have that double initiator comp with 2 big duelist agents in Sova off his recon dart and KO off that knife. Especially without having Harbor there to be able to readjust to a different site for a take, they're going to have to commit based off of early round info here without investing that Viper wall early.
A 1-4 comp has 2 push out into mid.
And they find 2 picks. Big picks here early in the round.
Very unfortunate. It looks like... Oh, shoot, that's a nice trip. Zhao has B completely locked down.
Joey does trade out Thick, though. Himself in no man's land alone, pincered between numerous different Raiders, but he is going to be able to find some isolated 1v1s here against Adrian. Hoping to find the pick. Adrian takes him out with a 3k here on this round. Quick teabag in. A little bit of a British sort of nonsense going on, I might sense.
Is it bad that we have labels to see,
Yes, this should do. That goes there. This goes here.
13?
Pretty nifty setup here from Just Sao, showing it off for his TikTok followers there, I might think. Or us, esports casters here. I should probably write that one down.
Cage triggered.
Early pick there from Karu against the Eco. Not able to buy the shields. He gets 2 quick body shots in on Blue Golds in mid there. 4K, looking for his 5th. As he's not expecting him to be behind him.
Thick's in tunnel.
Going for some quick scopes, some no scopes, bringing back the YY fakey ladder scopes. As Thick tries to fight for his life as the Raiders are baiting for Karu. Knocks him out, denies the ace, gets 2, but does get knocked out.
A great 2 denying the ace. Playful banter from Thick here.
Hey, man's got to do what they got to do, or woman, as they try to find that ace. And personally, I feel like my teammates would have just taken it from me. I don't think they would have helped.
I will say, as we close out, actually we are not closing out this game, we are winning this 13-11.
A bit of a
Ping
weird
diff.
prediction there, as if you're an oracle. I think your mystical gifts may be held to question here, as Blue Gold's stack 5 here against B. Almost narrowly against the gamble stack here from the Raiders.
Into elbow, catching one with a flash.
Big info, catching Zev there on the bow. Big pick, but
Finding Zev, bringing it down to 3-3. Joey trades with Mystical.
Spike planted.
Adrian's dog misses Cypher.
Careful here.
sort of a switch of roles here as the Raiders find themselves more so on the T side here. So 1v1 here with the spike down, post plant here on hot shot. VV1 30 health. Any lick of damage here will find him knocked down, face down in the dirt.
Will Hotshot take out VV1 here? He will. Attackers win 4-11. What did I say? 13-11. It's gonna happen, I believe.
Hey, but by my math, that is 9 rounds that they would need to win straight. But we'll see what goes on here.
Didn't that happen last half?
I don't know.
It did not.
We find the Raiders going in a 2-3 here on defense. Stacking their duelist with their initiator, hoping to find some early pressure here in A. As the Bluegolds are stacked up here, 5 on A against these 3. It's going to be a big scuffle here right away in A main. Looking towards the off the back of the flash, misses the shot, but that early info is going to be important. Pulling a tight pixel on Joey, knocks him out. Curry gets the opening pick there with the op.
Thick ults pressuring people away off of A, but K-Rune does not seem to be backing down.
Unfortunate
Taking out
timing
the
on the wall
ults.
going down.
One enemy remaining. Flawless.
A flawless
They
from
look
the
blind.
Raiders here.
Match point.
There, as the Bluegolds off the back of their falling wall got picked off and taken apart pretty surgically by the Raiders. Timeout here, trying to salvage what they can of their attack half. I can only imagine what Caleb is probably saying to his players here, trying to hype them back up for the ongoing war that they're facing here with the Raiders, as there are still 2 more possible maps to be played after this one.
Personally, I would like to say my Oracle skills may be off on the 13-11, but I do believe in the 14-12.
Yeah? Well,
We can bring it back, Blugold.
hey, you know, Wish.com may have a lot of things, but prophecies here may not be one of them.
Wish.com. Are we sponsored?
Hopefully in the future. Hey, Wish, if you're listening, hit us up. We'll probably say no, but because I don't know if we're going to be sponsored. Timeout here now, coming out, back out into a fresh round. Moving towards a more classic 2-1-2 defense here on the Raiders. Bluegolds kind of meandering about still. Likely sending Joey there for some lurking and holding of map control by B and 4 players up mid. Trip cutting off elbow there is going to catch this guy coming through.
Caught one.
Off the back of the flash, I'm able to make a
Joey
play
gets
off
full
of it.
flashed.
Headshot.
Twice
2 crisp
abusing
shots.
his eyes, but Joey still takes the pick on Adrian.
Good use of the Cypher all, being able to predict the rotates coming in from the Raiders. As the Bluegolds find 1 player on site, find the pick on site against VV1. This eco is looking very nice here for the Bluegolds.
Amazing, not only eco round, but match point round. Joey takes out Mystical.
Spike planted.
Looking for the flawless, and they do find it
Flawless
there.
eco round from Eau Claire.
Big conversion, setting a pace that might carry through in momentum either the rest
The
of this game.
momentum to the 14-12, exactly.
Yeah. Or the series, as they keep pedaling off the back of this hill that they're riding down. That surmountable hill that they did surmount of the eco conversion. Unfortunately, they threw that Marshall into the ocean, so Hotshot just stares longingly at it.
Tragic.
Like Jack did with Diane in the Titanic, I'm sure. I didn't watch it, but...
I believe it was Diane staring at Jack.
Oh.
Poison orb emitting. Exterminated.
They're out of main. Gets Karu knocked out. Bluegold sending 5 up, holding the Sova back there
Stomping.
to hold B main. A lot of noise coming out. Interesting investment in the op here on attack.
Watch.
Find the player in elbow there. Bluegold's up 5-3 in man count. Viper trading shots with
Finds
Adrian.
Yao,
there.
already done.
Big picks here as Bluegolds are carrying off that momentum from the previous round.
Adrian comes outdoors. Can Kosten get the op shot? He cannot, but Zev can.
Get the Vandal shot.
Spike planted.
Post plant here now taking some aggressive map position against the lone player from Raiders. Looking to save here and maybe get a timing pick here against a player in mid. Not ready for the op. Waiting for him on the other side. DV1 gets knocked out as Kostin brings the Blue Golds up 6-12.
Is it bad that when you said aggressive map position, I immediately assumed their Vipers sitting on A? I mean, I will say sitting on stairs while bombs planted on B, incredibly aggressive map position from VV1.
I was more so talking about the Blue Golds pushing out from site in the post plant, looking for that lone player. As we see,
TLDR, I am not smart.
the Raiders sending 3 down B main, running it down, anti-rushing B. Classic strat off the back of that harbor ult. Finding a dink.
Take out 2.
But Blue Golds knock out 2 of those Russian players. Push back to main, but Joey is going crazy here, holding map control for the Blue Golds. Looking for one more in Keiru here on their eco.
Joey takes out Keiru. Viper is the only one left with a Marshall watching elbow.
Spike planted.
Takes out Thick as he walks through the wall. Three people pushing up on Viper, abandoning site completely. Will Joey find him? Zev takes out VV1 to close out the round.
Hey, say what you want about being disappointed here from the Ryan skin collection, but I personally think the cell shading is nice, even though it does have lack of effects. We see the Raiders here in sort of a around a 2-1-2 with a bit more aggressive position to get that Sky Flash out early for info. As the Blue Golds are in a 2-3 here, looking for a possible late split to A.
Joey buys his own op with 2 operators on offense. It does appear that the Raiders are incredibly broke right now as Hotshot takes a kill on Mystical.
Hey, like we were saying here at the beginning of the stream, that change to Halls was significant enough to make some players forget that it ever existed in the first place. And that early pick is reminiscent of those classical duels before the map was reworked.
Buena.
Kostin on the knives there, trying to entry for his team, as they're looking now for that split to A.
Can VV1 take VV1? Or that's a very bad pun. I'm so sorry. He cannot!
Kostin gets that opening pick there on the site.
Spike planted.
Can Adrian find Hotshot? He can.
They were playing Ring Around the Rosie, and Adrian came out on top with a pocket full of posies. Kara knocks out Joey. Big retake coming in, big picks.
1.
Even man count with Thick
Standing.
kind of snuffing out some util dumpage. Wins his duel against Sao to win the round for the Blue Golds, bringing it back up 8-12.
8-12 Blue Golds.
First time out of the game called out here from the MSOE Raiders.
How do y'all think the defense for the Raiders could potentially shape up after this timeout?
Lord only knows, as I can pray. Huh. Wow, that's cool. Well, I would say they're just kind of falling under the wave and crash of momentum that Blue Golds is kind of piggybacking off of after that first eco conversion. They've managed to snuff out and win each of their counter ecos here, as they're looking to go into another one to hopefully crush. Taking off that op from last round, Joey's likely going to pick up a rifle this round.
Another very poor round for MSOE coming up.
Yeah. And making sure they don't convert this eco is going to be crucial for keeping that momentum going through the rest of the game here for the Blue Golds. I respect that knife, Coastin. Maybe the only one I own from that one battle pass a long time ago, but it is a karambit nonetheless.
Was it the Luna Karambit?
I don't know. I don't know names of skins.
I don't know. I just said Luna because
Here.
it's like Moon Dash.
Yeah. Raiders here in a 2-3, keeping players on sites.
Coastin takes an
Coastin.
aggressive shot with the operator.
Nasty headshot there off the pixel. They'll take that one and run with it. Running with what they've got. They're now pushing 5 players towards B here against the Harbor and Cypher, hoping to stall out with the trips and smokes.
Toxins
Two
going
That
people
Viper
are
wall
still
splitting the
on B
site in half.
as Blugold's commit to the site.
Spike down B.
Coastin trades out just after he gets thick. Mystical gets the judge. 2 players
Mystical
down,
takes
Coastin
out
and
2.
Hotshot. That is a scary alley to be walking down with when a judge is facing you on the other side, but he does pick up a rifle here. Looking to defend his site from the 2 attackers that may still be posted up here.
Will Mystical find one more?
One enemy remaining.
Oh my
Defenders
god.
win. Thrift.
Raiders convert their eco to close out this game against the Blugolds, winning 13-8 here on Breeze.
How long were mics muted?
I just unmuted it. Probably a long time. Yeah. Probably like the whole second half. That'd be funny. Looking now to go to map 2 as the Blugolds off the back of their late eco conversion there in the second half, hoping to maintain some of that momentum going into map 2, which will be Sunset here for us.
Sunset map 2, you have to wonder who that was chosen by, as it appears Eau Claire starts on defense.
Attack.
Attack? Oh, yeah, attack.
As we find the players taking a break here, us casters will likely get filled back up on water. And you folks watching at home, make sure to stay hydrated and stay hyped up here as Blugold's coming to map 2 here in a few minutes.
Great advice always. game starts on Sunset. Blugold's locking in, or hovering, a double duelist. Huh?
You have to switch that.
What do you mean you have to switch?
Those.
Oh.
Because they switch sides.
Yes. It does appear that the Blugolds are hovering a double duelist queue with Kostin on Phoenix and Joey on Jets, while the Raiders are hovering a double controller comp again. That was definitely a success for them in the last game. How do we believe that this will compute for them in this game?
Sort of odd comps. Is they're kind of like fluctuating about what they might actually stick in here for the game.
Choose your agent.
All right, here,
we
opening
go.
up with the finalized comps here. We do see double controller coming in from the Raiders there. Viper being pretty solid here on the map. Sky for info. Breach is an interesting choice here from the Blugolds, as they are running that double duelist with the Sage and Omen to complement that.
Yes, this should do. Oh, this is a nice spot.
There we go. We appear to see a mid-centric Sunset.
Yeah, we'll see some heavy confrontation here in mid as Blugolds are investing 5 players against the Raiders 2. Smoke their top mid.
Amazing picks from Blugolds to start out, taking Jet down to half health and killing Breach while Sage heals Jet.
The other way.
Zhao has lock per. Huh?
Yeah. They're finding 2 picks coming out of mid. Karu takes out both the Blugolds initiator and secondary duelist.
One enemy remaining.
There we
Weapon
go.
here.
Thick finding a handful of kills here, gets knocked out by Mystical as the Raiders take the first round here of the game on Sunset.
Wait, no, now this is wrong.
That goes there. This goes here.
Technical difficulties.
We see sort of a 1-2-2 setup here from the Raiders as the dog gets shot out of mid, and Blugolds now shift towards a B main take. Holding that wall is sort of interesting, not investing that for any mid pressure. The Raiders have sort of a deep anchor there off of VV1.
Push in on B. Coastin finds Sky and Market.
Careful now.
Smoke comes down. And Coastin's taken out by Keiru with the Bulldog. Cypher and Omen push
One
the
enemy
Sage
remaining.
wall successfully as the Raiders take out the Blue Golds for the second win.
Yeah, we do find an interesting retake strategy here as sort of passively kind of just falling back there towards CT and Market. The Raiders intended to push back in off the back of just kind of minor util and even refreshable util there from the E abilities there in the Raise Nade and Jet Dash. That Boombot though wasn't enough for them to manage to screw with the crosshair placement of Coastin and knock him out. They found a solid retake there on their eco or force, and now they're on their bonus here against the Blue Gold's full rifle round.
Attempted team kill from Raze last round, taking out some shield from Cypher.
My camera is destroyed.
Coastin takes out
Here.
Cypher's camera on A as they appear to rotate to B almost immediately off that, while Coastin lurks up mid.
Yeah, the Blue Golds are lacking any info agents here, as they're looking to find some kind of like face-to-face info here as they're starting to work their way through mid and keep their options open. Possibly set up here now for a late B split from mid. They're starting to execute there towards Market, finding the one player. Joey makes his way into Market. Off the back of that, the Blue Golds are now executing here onto B in that B split. Spike knocked down in main. Carry taking out 2 big picks. Even man count here as Blue Golds have sight and are going to try to work this post plan here.
Spike planted.
Paranoia comes in there from Market to retake that space for the Raiders. Joey takes out one, gets traded out by Just Sao. 1v1 here against Just Sao and Zev.
Can Zev find Zhao?
Opposite sides of the site.
Attackers win the round.
Shadows traveling.
A beautiful post plant from the Blue Golds.
It's a big round. You have to make sure you win that rifle round if you do lose both the initial pistol and the force. Looking to be the first rifle round here for the Raiders, as the Blue Golds are in sort of a broken but still rifle buy here with a couple of half shields coming in from Thick Coastin and Hotshot.
I can buy. Shadows traveling.
Sky flashes out, catching Zev with a minimum flash. BV1 pulls Jet off of the orb.
We find the Blue Golds here now bringing 5 players towards A into that Cypher setup that have been yet to have tested. Finding the trip there on the right side in elbow. Going through short, they managed to knock out that trip as Blue Golds now flood here onto site, all 5 players against the 4 players of the Raiders.
Will Joey find Omen or will Omen find Joey? A Phoenix Molly takes out a decent amount of Omen's health as the smoke comes down. Viper and Omen advance. Fully
One
blinded,
enemy remaining.
and Blue Golds win the round.
Here.
Another beautiful post plant with that flood onto A site earlier.
Another big round, bringing it tied up here in the start of the half. After that first full rifle round out of both teams, the Blue Golds are going to have to be careful in this counter eco to not give up too many guns to the enemy team. I don't know about you, but I think the judge may or may not be a little bit overpowered right now, and we are seeing that brought out here towards elbow on A site.
I think we should actually buff the judge. I think it should have the fire rate of the Stinger.
Hey.
Or wait, judge is fully automatic. I think it should have you know, like the operator has a scope. I think we should be able to do that. but like it only shoots Bucky slug shots. So like perfectly accurate slug shots, right? At the same fire rate as a judge.
Got a team kill coming in here from Coastin on Joey after that res.
Spike planted.
Very unfortunate kill.
Unfortunate. Managing to maintain that player advantage here in the post plant against the eco.
Last player
If they make their way out of this round only losing one player, it's going to be a big economy bump here for the Blue Golds.
Zev on 20 health, searching for Cypher. Cypher hits somebody for a little. Takes out Thick, and Coastin takes out Cypher for a 3-2 win.
A little bit of BM there from Hotshot there.
If Demon 1 can get away with it, so can the Blue Golds.
As we have many equivalents of Demon 1 on our team in the form of every single player.
Look at Zev. Look at Joey.
The Raiders here sitting up in a probably a 1-3-1 here, going for some heavy mid presence after not having invested too much to hold space there in the previous rounds. The Blue Golds line up with a lurk here coming towards mid. Going to find a little bit more than he's expecting here. Zev wins his first duel with Keru, gets traded out by Adrian. Blue Golds flood the round to A site, not clearing elbow. Hotshot knocks out just Zalo though.
Ruin the Cypher setup. Mystical gets found by Joey.
Player standing. Spike planted.
Joey with 2.
Adrian in a 1v4 retake. Can he pull it off?
Coming through Link here to A after just seeing 2 of his teammates die before his very eyes. He's going to be met with an unexpected breach, and Hotshot finds the pick here. 1v3 hoping to isolate his gunfights. Thick sends a slow there from elbow. As we have 2 Blue Golds players coming in through short.
Jet and Phoenix pushing up on Adrian.
Walking into a crossfire, 2 players at his back. He gets backstabbed there by Coastin. Blue Golds send it up to 4 here in the start of the half. Another big round as the credits just keep piling on, as you can see here, for the Blue Golds. It's going to be a bit of a light, swanky buy here for the Raiders, hoping to be able to buy next round full rifles.
I mean, EC is the Blue Golds, but as you mentioned, looking at our economy, clearly we have the Blue Gold.
Indeed we do.
I should never make a pun in my life again.
We find the Raiders gamble stack involved here on B. Paranoia for some quick main presence. Find 1 player on Hotshot, get a rifle picked up off of that. Blue Golds are gonna want to try to defend that from the other players.
Sky ults, can she get any? Joey trades, killing Rays.
Thought he was
Sky
just shooting a
here.
boom bot, but he
Takes out
managed to.
Sky. Can Joey find Cypher? As smoke starts to fade. He can. Mystical follows them mid, hearing the Sage wall.
And we do have a rifle showdown here coming to the end.
Spike planted.
Unexpected lurk here from Joey all the way back in spawn, but manages to just narrowly miss VV1 there off of timing.
One enemy remaining.
EC Thick gets the backstab on VV1 there off superior positioning. Possibly a misplaced wall as VV1 just jumped over it there from the ledge. Zev finds a good pick there onto the unexpected Mystical.
EC takes out Mystical. Omen, so many O's, so many men's. I get confused.
I think the best type of O's are SpaghettiOs.
I think the best type of O's are, Actually, no, you're right, SpaghettiOs.
We see Zev being sent off here to work through a mid lurk. 4 players from Blue Golds stacked towards A.
Sky flashes 4 here.
Trying to split their way through between elbow and short. Did a quick trade there as Thick takes out Karu in place of Joey.
Can VV1 or Adrian find one? Adrian's coming out with the dog. Gets destroyed.
I do find a quick trade there. And a quick exchange as Blugold's looking to take site. Big pick there.
Thick res is coasting.
Breach ult is going to get Blugold's onto site there, but
Player
Mystical
Narrowly
is
misses.
terrorized, but he does
Spike
not
down
care.
A.
He takes out Thick. 1v2, 30 seconds on the clock.
30 seconds left.
as Hotshot is now here in the 1v2, he's looking for those isolated 1v1s. And that timing is getting the Raiders a bit anxious here. As he swings into his first duel,
10 seconds left.
narrowly misses, fakes the plant here.
Hotshot dodges Omen.
He's walking his way into a cross, backstab by just Sao.
Was taken out by Cypher, winning for 3-5. Blugold still do have a pretty hearty lead here. It's still undecided whether this is an attack or defense side of the map, right?
I personally don't know anything about Sunset, other than it's a good harbor map,
This is a nice spot.
which I think they should be playing harbor. As a harborman myself,
Here.
I think it's the best harbor map, but we don't see him here today.
I think you just have a crush on Harbor.
Hey, what can I say? He looks
Wood.
I have the
good. Aggressive A main push here from the Raiders, taking that space off the back of very little util.
Hotshot sees Sage's feet.
We do have the
Sage
other
takes out the camera.
side of Blugold's is working here through to B main. Just
Zao
Sao
takes
gets a
out
pick off
Thick,
there.
ulting.
On hiding.
Can he find one
Here.
more? Mystical finds Breach.
One enemy remaining.
shadows traveling,
Can Zev 1v3 clutch to take out the round?
blinding.
Picks up the op, hoping to find some relivable Modern Warfare 2 glory. Manages to only take one against VV1.
I mean, any amount is a good amount to me. Any hit to the eco is always a good hit to the eco.
Speaking of eco, narrowing the lead that the Blugolds had early here in the game.
Yes, this should be.
We find them evening a bit out, even though they do still have the slight edge here
That goes there.
going into this round. This is going to be a pretty pivotal round to see if the Raiders can swing it back into a more favorable
Yes, this should be.
economic situation,
Definitely.
as a big rifle round is coming in. Knives working their way up through mid there behind Arch. Another aggressive A main push here from the Raiders, just taking that free space as Blugolds don't have a sentinel that can actually hold that main for him, as it took a Sage. Coming here for a flank and possible backstab, VV1 is looking to find a pick.
Mystical takes out Zev. Will Hotshot get caught by the Cypher trip? Or is it
Trading
Arctic?
places, the attacking Blugolds now seem to have the backside of the map almost under control besides top mid. Mystical takes out Joey though.
Adrian coming up from A main. Sage definitely hears the ult orb being taken.
The Blugolds find themselves sandwiched in this nest of Raider players going flawless, hoping for flawless this round as
Coastin
Coastin
takes out
shuts
Cypher.
that down.
Thick takes out
30
Mystical,
seconds
bringing
left.
into a comfy 2v3 with Phoenix ult. Taking out Karu, the Opper. A winning position for Eau Claire here. Phoenix ults.
One enemy
Taking
remaining.
out Viper. Sky takes out the Phoenix ult as she pushes out of market. A truly inspirational 2v5, closing out the round for the Blue Golds.
Big swing there as Kostin drops that clean 4K. Showing great fundamentals. They're taking care to clear all of the default corners you should. These Blue Golds are going to be happy with that one, taking the op out of the hands of the Raiders.
Just an amazing execute for the Blue Golds. It does appear that the Raiders are left on a very light buy this round.
This is going to be a tough eco for them as they gamble stack A, and after having taken A main so easily these start of the rounds, they're investing a Razal and Paranoia, not finding Joey. Joey is finding 2 Vanguard players. Quickly gets traded out Adrian and Kostin.
4v2. Can we make it a 4v1?
One enemy remaining.
VV1's taken out, bringing it to a 4v1.
As Blue Golds close out that counter eco, only losing the one
Last
gun there in
round
Joey.
the half.
Hoping to
Beautiful
close
round
out.
from the Blue Golds.
Hoping to close out this half with a nice, consistently favorable attacking rounds. Blue Golds are looking to possibly readjust through mid here as we have the Raiders going into a 1-3-1 here. Sort of heavy with early info out of mid. The Blue Golds are in a 3-1-1.
Shadows traveling.
Early pit investment there for A main to shut out any possible attackers coming into there.
Ray's bomb buddies into T-side main, attempting to find someone. She doesn't.
But she does find a bullet in the head there from Kostin. Mystical trades out that pick though with Joey. That entry onto site not being able to be backed up after the smoke's cutting that off. Seeker's coming in though for some info to see where the rotates might be going from the Blue Golds. As they now make their way onto site off the back of that firewall from Phoenix. He gets cut out by Just Sao. Mystical and Just Sao now coming in for the retake of the site. Just Sao
Hotshot
finds
takes
2
one.
more. Hotshot trades out Just Sao. EC finds himself in a 1v1 here against Mystical as the other 2 Raiders players are still working their way through the map.
And Mystical closes out the half for 5-7. Blue Golds in the lead.
Switching sides.
For a defense-sided map, I would say that Blue Golds definitely took the their half very well. Can we see a win for the Blue Golds taking it to map 3?
Yeah, we should see a shift in the tide here as the Blue Golds don't have as many harsh stalling agents in the form of Cypher or Viper, as they just kind of have the soft stall there of the Sage Wall and Omen Smokes.
It begins.
We see the Raiders going here into 3-1-1, kind of testing the waters against the Blue Golds 2-1-2. Jump spotting for
Kostin
info in
pushes
mid,
up.
sees nothing. Quick trade from Kara out on Kostin here at the start of the round.
Cover going out. Stealing sight.
Mystical blinds through the wall into market and gets full flashed by Hotshot. Can Hotshot stall for long enough? Takes out one. 4v3 for a post-plant retake
Spike planted.
with the Blue Golds.
Find them working their way through market
Joey
here.
or Omen find one. No.
Not clearing the backside. Get traded out swiftly by Mystical as the Raiders take the first round of the half here on their attack side.
And unfortunately seen pistol round, bringing it to 6-7.
We do see a handful of rifles coming out here for the Raiders as they're really investing into this full buy, hoping to start running it down off the back of those sky flashes. But
Stinger,
we
a
do
Guardian,
see
and 3 Spectres.
the gamble stack from Blugold's coming into the 5-man stack here from the Raiders, as a heavy fight is going to be put up here. 2 flashes going into elbow, pushing
Joey's
back
blinded.
Joey.
Full pushing elbow. That might have been a lie.
3 big early picks coming in. Zev managed to take out 1 rifle,
Team Ace.
as just narrowly avoiding the perfect round there from the Raiders. The Blugolds take out 1 rifle. On their bonus now, we're looking at more of an even split here for the Raiders against the Blugolds.
This goes here. Yes, this should do. That
Very
goes there.
interesting trips from Just Zhao. 1 in spawn.
Camera taken out.
Those are both going to hold off those flanks there as they're going for another heavy A take. As the Blugolds in the 1-2-2 are going to have to try to stall, which will be difficult without the hard mollies set up there on that site.
Vic gets concussed by Sky's dog, walling off elbow. Kostin jumps over the trip, and Zev takes out 2.
Spike planted.
5v3 retake. Mystical takes out Kostin, unfortunately.
1 enemy remaining.
And that is the round after the defuse. Bringing it back up to 8-7. Very similar to the first half, we see the Raiders taking out the first 2 rounds as Blugold secure 5 rounds in a row. Can we see the same thing happen this half?
It'll be tough to tell, but it is important they won their first full buy round, as
Very
it took a minute for them to defuse. We'll see now the first both-sided
Enough with the
rifle
winning.
round here for both teams. This is going to be probably the most important round of the game, as very near here in round count. 7 for the Raiders, 8 for the Blugolds. This will be a swing round to determine the economy here for this half.
It appears Zev is fed up with the Gwitty. As seen in all chat.
Blugold set up here in a 1-2-2. Both are duelist fighting there for the mid control. Off the back of Fountain, they're starting to move into mid. Both of them stacked up now here by the entrance to market. We see the Raiders set up in a 2-2-1, 2 players in A main, working up that space with the spike. We see Kosta now pushing in towards bottom mid, trading 1 shot with Just Sao, but backing out of the fight.
Scoped in. Can he find one A main?
Late lurk here coming in from VVI, as just out of his peripheral, Joey sees him but does not manage to win the fight. Important pick here off that lurk in mid, leaving that avenue of attack open. But the Blugolds take out 3 players there off of the util and amazing aim there from Kostin.
Excellent kills from Kostin in a hot shot. Can Omen find Viper? He cannot. Viper enters CT. Or
He
goes
managed to
back mid.
find her, just wasn't able to bring out his gun after that paranoia, as it does take a split second there
30
to be able to
seconds
left.
re-aggress
1
off of that.
enemy remaining.
Kostin finding 4 here on the round. A big swing,
Beautiful round.
bringing the Blugolds hopefully coast to coast here in this game.
Right there.
Blugold set up here in a 2-1-2 against the Raiders, 3-1-1. Early
Excellent
aggression
stun
coming
taking
in.
2 from
That paranoia and the flashes are trading
Spike
util there
down
for
B.
B
double
main.
flashes. Carry takes out Kostin with a frenzy. Can Hotshot avenge his brethren? He can.
Those are 2 rifles, though, that the Bluegolds have given up
Amazing
here on the
op shot
counter
from
eco.
Joey. Owen teleports into T spawn to attempt to pin them into A main, and it appears to be working. 5 and 3.
We do have that Judge, though, playing around the smoke, which is going to be dangerous, but he does wall off those 2
Walled
Raiders
off
players
with
into B.
nothing to do but walk directly into Joey's. No, Omen's gonna ult all the way to A site and potentially plant. Can Thick catch him?
Spike planted.
We do have VVI here looking for a timing there after giving the spike to his Omen to go plant. Trading places as the Bluegolds now are working towards site. Quick scope from
Amazing
Joey.
quick scope from Joey.
Bluegolds are looking to stick
Defusing,
here.
Viper has to rush.
VVI is coming through A link. Did manage to pick up a rifle, is hoping to save that and bring it over to the next round.
And VV1 takes out Joey, unfortunately.
Unfortunately losing the op, but fortunately managing to stop that eco.
Great play, and the timeout starts now.
Going on here the rest of the game, the Bluegolds are hoping to maintain their economy advantage here. Keeping these rifles in the hands of our players. But taking out that op was a big misplay there from Joey at the end of the last round. Not being able to have such an impressive presence there over mid is going to possibly hurt the Bluegolds for maintaining map control here for the rest of the game. But he just bought one
Joey
anyways.
Is available to buy an op, so I think we're fine, right?
Hopefully, but that is
Surely.
still a pretty significant investment in the economy game here.
Definitely.
But managing to snuff out that eco, we find a rifle round here coming in. Another important round, as if the Raiders lose this round, they'll likely be going back down to a low buy.
Again. You know, I will say we have seen quite a few people advance into CT on the attacking side.
This goes here.
For
This is
National
nice.
Mole Day, I
No
did
more
not
charges
expect
left.
so many rats from both sides in these games.
Interesting take, as I'm pretty sure moles aren't rats, but are possibly marsupials.
Yeah, because moles aren't rats. Like you think the moles would be coming out, but the rats are.
Anyway, as
The
we now
joke's
start
not
here
landing.
in the round, Bluegold set up here in a 2-3 defense here. Early info there from the Phoenix Cult finds nothing, but it does plant Joey there at the bottom of A main. We have 3 players working through B main here from the Raiders. 2 players lurking up through mid, getting some early presence there off the back of that top mid smoke. Trying to enter there into market, finds a pick off Thick. Karu showstoppers him into dust. He got Oppenheimer, ladies and gentlemen. Adrian, big entry there in trade off of Zev. As the Raiders now in post plant, sticking 2 players in towards market, 2 players main. Viper mollies the whole 9 yards there. Blueguards are going to really have to work for this one to try to bring it back.
Adrian appears to want to advance to Boba, while Blue Golds take a commanding presence on site, faking the defuse.
Last player standing.
Zhao takes out Coast, and Joey takes out Mystical, and Sky closes out the round
I
with
find
the Zhao not
kill
picking the Oppo.
simple as that. Yes.
Hey, the thing is, you don't want to hand that back over to the defense anytime soon, as especially here for mid, or even early peeks into B or A main, it can be pretty oppressive. They're holding pixels.
That certainly is fair.
This goes here.
Fortunately for the Bluegolds, though, they do have some money in reserves here to pick up a couple of rifles on the defense. Setting back up into that same 2-3 here, they're going to be meeting a 0-0-5 stack here from the Raiders, as they're hoping to rush it through and split up both short and elbow from each other.
My eyes are down.
Slow and Smoke are going to stall out the players away from the Initiator and Duelist. Thick with a big early pick off of both Karu and Adrian, knock out the
Amazing
space-taking
shots.
combo.
Joey advances while Thick and Zev take out 2. Amazing 4K from Thick this round with the wallbang headshot to finish out the round.
Yeah, it's what we like to see there. Good round use of the knives there from Joey, as it ensures that he does have enough money this round to buy, even if they would have lost. We see the Blugolds sticking with this sort of 2-3, possibly shifting Joey over to mid there to watch with the op. The Raiders are stacking 5 there by A for this low buy with the Judge mixed in, kind of in a sprinkled low buy, I guess you could say. Trying to split here between short and elbow. Thick takes one out from short. Boombot finds no info.
Will Joey find Keiru? He will.
Big pick to 9 space there is Joey and Kostin snuffing out both the lurk and main take.
4v2 with Omen and Viper sandwiched in A main. Will they choose to rotate? Hotshot appears to be coming flank.
He's holding off that previously mentioned rotate as the Blugolds are now stacking up. Sort of trickling in, not like they might want to.
One enemy remaining.
Joey finds the pick off of that unfortunate Omen ult, trying to get info, but his Viper left him there to die. As Kostin and Joey double swing the Viper, Blugolds close out the round here, up 12 to 8.
Wing.
Match point.
I see a 13-8 in Blugold's future.
And as the Oracle foretells, they were wrong last game. Will we see that this game?
Stop. No, the Oracle is always right. That was an outlier.
Hoping to add a more significant point to the data set, the Blugolds here are now stacked up in a 1-2-2. Big mid presence, finding a couple players coming out from the Raiders.
In an act of desperation, it looks like the Raiders are just going buck wild. Kostin takes out Ray's mid.
That dynamic duo has been working together the last couple of rounds here. That Op and Vandal, and both Joey and Kostin respectively, have been working nastily together to confirm each other's kills, double swinging when needed, and holding crosses so high you might think they'd be in prayer.
Mystical's taking a stroll through spawn to go meet up with Viper. So is Sky.
Rotating through spawn here, they did plant VV1 over
Cypher's
towards
anchoring.
A elbow, able to retake that map control because of that hold and the trips. You see just Zhao here hoping for a timing as they now push onto A site for the Raiders. Flash not finding Zev. Zev finding one.
Exits through the smoke.
30 seconds left.
Toxins going up.
Spike comes down. Can we see a proper end to this map? Thick sprays Adrian through the Viper ult.
VV1 trades out Thick though. Takes 2. Kostin gets the last 2 though, knocking out the Raiders out of
The
sunset.
Oracle was correct. And Hotshot hits the Gwitty.
Hey, as the saying goes, a blind squirrel does find a nut once in a while.
Come on, let's go. Come on, come on.
Person.
Not your day, is it?
Defenders win.
So how do you feel seeing the Blugolds take out 13-8? A complete mirror match to map 1 on Breeze.
I'm comfortable saying that I believe the Blugolds will carry through with this momentum here into our third map. Finding themselves working through, converting a few ecos along the way, snuffing out very important ecos from the Raiders. The Blugolds have found themselves picking up pace here, especially off the back of the dynamic duo, Kostin and Joey, working off those double swings, those crosses, managing to keep the Blugolds here in the game as we go to map 3.
Wonder where map 3 will be. It appears Ascent has been chosen for the third map, with Eau Claire again on attack.
Looking to comps here, I expect to find us more back towards the traditional side, away from the experimental Sunset, as it was the last map introduced. Ascent is a pretty tried and tested formula, and out of kind of the sort of like regular sort of 5 agents we usually see, the Omen, the KJ, KO, Sova, and usually a Jet or Raze in there. Who do you expect to have the largest impact out of kind of those 5 agents here for?
Out of those 5 agents, definitely Killjoy has a lot of potential to lock down both sites. However, with many voice lines, it does appear that Raze does make collateral damage or just genuinely a lot of impact on the game. It entirely depends how our players and the opponent's players play the game.
Couldn't have said it better myself. The KJ
Yes,
is
good.
important for holding that map control both on attack and defense. The lockdown coming in clutch for post plant, site takes, and anything you could dream of. Honestly, probably the best ultimate in the game in my opinion. Expensive, yes, but can swing around very easily if teams are coordinated enough to work off of the space it takes.
It appears Eau Claire is subbing in Salty for...
Hotshot, as he is
Hotshot.
likely going back to CS2. Finding him now here, coming to map 3. I'm hoping to maybe find some more consistency for both teams here, as they're kind of bouncing back and forth, trading blows round to round. Momentum being my keyword here for the night. I feel like it's been rising steadily here as we progress through the games. That first conversion of the eco there on Breeze for Blugold's really set the pace for that second half.
Certainly.
And now the early economy here they were bringing with them through Sunset was important to close out that game for them. I'm hoping that here on Ascent we'll continue to see that wave come swashing its way down in the form of Harbor. But he will not show up on this map, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, Harbor just simply is not... Actually, in VCT, we did see quite a bit of Harbor play on...
Not Ascent.
Ascent. Actually, yeah, we did.
Paper X?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe Paper X and Fnatic. Both absolutely insane, crazy teams.
Incredible teams.
Not as good. Perhaps not as good as the Blugolds or the Raiders here tonight. Fun to watch.
Never. Blugold, solo, any D1 team.
They're not even D1. They're Champions League. I'm pretty sure we could beat Paper X. I could 1v1 any player on Paper X. I could beat Jing. Maybe.
Honestly, I think I could beat Jing. I think Thick could beat Jing. Kosin could beat Jing. Joey could beat Jing. Zev could beat Jing. Salty could beat Jing. I don't think VV1 could beat Jing.
I will not make a
is
statement
too
on that
toxic?
at all. Looking now as the players are still kind of readying themselves here for the third map. Look into those standard comps, but if we do see any deviations, I do expect them likely to come in the place of an initiator, where we may find a Sky coming in because of the general use of those abilities providing so much
Exactly.
util and info.
Those birds are amazing for anything. Looking into the party chat, we see the question, what are our opinions on ISO, the new agent, as we quick transition into the agent select for map 3? Did I get it wrong again? No, we didn't. Yay.
Looking towards ISO and possible other future agents, if they let me 1v1 someone to prove that I'm just better than them, I think that's a good agent. I may not be better than them. I may not play enough aim labs to shoot the shield orb, but hey, I'm going to have fun trying, okay?
Certainly.
Hovering over comps here, we do see a Fade coming in for Eau Claire in place of that Sova, and we're looking at that double duelist comp there with Kostin and Joey. Both pretty comfortable there, taking space. Kostin on that Jet, Joey on that Raze.
As you said earlier, we were almost about to see we're currently seeing a very standard comp for the Raiders, coming with KO, Omen, Jet, Killjoy, Can we see Adrian hover Sova while Eau Claire has already locked 2 duelists and Omen? Killjoy and Fade, very familiar. It does appear we are getting
Select your agent.
the standard comp for Ascent versus the better double duelist comp.
I wouldn't say so much better. I would say the Blue Golds are here playing to their strengths in those two
Certainly.
aim heavy and I guess game sense heavy, just all around great players there, being able to both make entry. Kostin and Joey, very good pickups here for the Blue Golds. Working their way into the defending side is nice, though, on the attack to have both of those duelists to take space and work off the backs of each other. Fade altogether, I think, is a little bit underrated. A lot of her kit provides utility in ways that you just wouldn't expect. The Prowlers can clear more space than you would think, and really put pressure on any defending players to give up on angles. And that Seize is probably going to come into combo with that raised nade, those paint shells, which may find some pretty important damage here in the rounds as they come in.
Certainly.
If you were to pick a favorite player card here from the selection in front of us, what would it be?
I gotta say the Cotton Candy card that Zev is currently running.
Interesting.
Very nice colors.
Yeah, I do like a good frog there, though, from Keiru.
True. I mean, I might be biased. That was on purpose.
I'm interested to see how the Killjoys set up their defending sites here, respectively, for both the teams. As I myself personally like putting that KJ turret by switch so it can watch the walk up from market and main. But I would expect to see either turrets from logs or the stack of boxes there by CT.
Certainly, it can even go all the way down lane. Honestly, Ascent is Killjoy's playground. With multiple nade setups, multiple alarm buffs, multiple turrets per site, and even on mid, this is definitely going to be an entertaining match.
Unfortunately missing the classic throw out of the map, leaving a bread trail for himself to follow, running back to CT. Zhao places
Very
sentry.
aggressive turret from Zhao.
Alarm bot out.
Setting up to hold that mid control there, though. The Raiders are setting up in a 2-1-2
Swarm grenade.
with the KO close by tree for the quick rotate to A. We see the Blue Golds here marching in 5 players towards A. Not walking through that Omen one-way smartly, but hopefully not drive peeking into lane either. Trading shots to Joey, double
Mystical is
satchels. Just
Almost
knocked out with
overwhelmed by
Spike.
Joey.
Down A.
Horrible series of events here as 3 Blue Golds players get traded out against the 1 Jet there for the Raiders. As they're stuck here in main, hoping to reclaim that spike that they sent in with their duelist.
Mystical re-smokes off main as his first smoke fades.
That info comes in for thick though, as Adrian shoots the turret there from flank. Working their way back towards mid, running away from that 4-stack site of the Raiders.
Thick and Salty do want to wrap through a tree, but they come back, hoping that they think the same.
It's a little bit hard to fake though, as the defenders do have spike, smokes, and 4 players standing on the other side, as they're going to be forced to dry peek this with no initiator.
Can Salty find one? He cannot, and defenders close out the round as Thick takes out Mystical.
Unfortunate first round, perhaps a little bit of misplaced faith there in Kostin, or he just accidentally picked up the spike. Aggressive B turret there is kind of nice though, as it can see all the way through B main
Certainly.
until the attackers walk around the corner there from T spawn.
Time for a field test.
Placing swarm grenade.
Here.
Omen appears to be having an Ares while Zhao's turret finds someone.
Carrier gets 2 picks into T-spawn outside of B main there off of Grafter. Cat. VV1 picks one off. From Arch there. Making their mid presence known. We do see
One enemy remaining.
2 Raider players making their way through main. Flawless force buy here from the Raiders. Carry bringing in that 4K with the Marshall.
As unfortunate as it is, certainly a great execute from, or anti-execute from the Raiders.
Turret out.
He may not be Marshall Mathers because his knees were not weak, his arms were not heavy, and I would assume his sweatshirt did not have mom's spaghetti.
Okay, that joke went off worse than the moles. I think I win.
We do have the Ares invested here from Adrian, hoping to get a spam through
Revealing area.
towards B main.
Spamming
Haphazardly
through, he does
spraying.
not find one, while Salty finds Karu.
Cover going.
Interesting crosshair there from Salty. Four Blugold's players working their way through tree into
Satchel out.
the soon-to-be 3 players from the Raiders here holding.
Joey finds VV1 and Killjoy. Can't read that name. Zhao.
Blugolds do take sight though, managing to knock out the players as they work their way through tree up into heaven.
There they are.
Hoping to hold in the post plant. Not expecting the player to the right by the
Last
orb,
player
but Joey
standing.
Kosten does take him out.
I
So-
believe that is 5 halves in a row where the Blue Goals take out the 3rd round of the half.
And that is a very important stat to consider here, as the Blugolds do convert their first full buy of every game after losing the first eco and successive force buy. It's important that they don't
Great.
fall behind in that economy, as they're now stacking 5 players again towards A against the Raiders. Approximate 2-3 here, with 3 players going mid for early pressure.
Definitely.
Playing audio here, Mystical does spot as Blugold's entry there onto site, leaving Adrian alone by B, off in the world
Adrian
on his own.
opting for the Odin this round over an
planted.
Ares as Spikes planted on A.
Blugold's here forming up into their standard post plant setup here. 2 players by Jenny.
Turret out.
This is the first time we've seen a 5v5 post plant situation. Blue Golds have 2 taken off of them. Kosten's taken out by Mystical.
Placing alarm bot.
One enemy remaining.
Can Omen? Cannot. And with just 5 seconds on the clock, the Raiders secure round 4.
Salty is unfortunately not able to take out more guns there from the Raiders, as they take the first full rifle round here of the game. Big statement here from them as they say, you will not run us over here the rest of the game.
There.
I think they will.
We see the Raiders here setting up in what looks to be a 1-3-1, or possibly just an early dart here from Adrian. As the Blue Gold set up into 2-3, looking for a late A split possibly. Joy going to be peeking into the op here soon, holding a tight angle as to hold the mid swing. Blue Gold's players do not invest any manpower into A main.
Heiru misses the off shot and is taken out by Raze in mid. Sova sees someone with the drone. Raze.
We do have 4 players here now from the Blue Gold stuck in mid. Fighting their way out, they do trade out. Adrian, take another one out of
Will they fight their
VV1.
way into B or into CT?
Destroyed.
We'll find out as Mystical wraps in,
Last player standing.
failing to take one. And the Blue Golds take out round 5.
It was good work picking apart that cross there from stairs and CT, as those can be tough to work with, but thankfully they were slacking a little bit and managed to quick air burst through, managed to spray out through the smoke and take out KJ there at the bottom of the stairs.
Exactly.
As we see the Raiders here on their eco round, we have 3 players quickly rushing out through mid, looking to take the Blue Golds unexpectedly. Blue Golds take out 2, trading just a little bit of damage out
3.
of Coast, and Zev takes out 3.
Do we hear a 4th?
Joey double satchels in, takes
do.
out Jisao.
Where are you?
Adrian, the lone
The
player
last of the
left.
Raiders is left in market. Doors down, Adrian takes out 1, and Salty ties up the game.
Wait until I blind them to strike.
Important conversion of that counter eco from the Blue Golds is going to set them ahead here in this rifle round.
Certainly.
As
This is definitely a risky buy for the Raiders. If they lose it, they could lose it all.
Kara working his way off that one-way smoke, manages to take out Joey before the showstopper finds him. But he is traded out by Coast and important, as the Blue Golds invest that attacker Killjoy, as we talked about in the pregame,
Beautifully.
which will take the space for them. Salty looking to teleport there for Hell. Zev takes out VV1 there out of heaven. Blue Golds find themselves in the man count up 4-3 as they have sight here and set up for the post plant. Thick unexpectedly
Zhao
gets
finds
taken out
Thick.
from tree.
Planted.
Can Zev find Zhao? Adrian comes into tree
Scanning ahead.
with a recon dart. Kosum finds Zev.
Player standing.
Adrian's
One
dead.
enemy remaining.
Big trades,
And the
1v1,
Blue
and
Golds
Salty does it.
Take out the round. That was a devastating loss for the Raiders. I'm surprised that Adrian is able to full buy currently.
Yeah, kind of in limbo. The Raiders here on this low buy eco are looking to get a little bit aggressive here again. Hoping to take out some rifles here from the Blue Golds. Pretty strong economy. As the Blue Golds here shoving another 5 players towards A. Satcheling through that one-way smoke, takes out Keru. He gets stuffed by the Bucky.
Zev ults marking 2, 3.
Mark 3.
Both Prowlers on the hunt.
If this doesn't scream Valorant to you, I don't know what will. The amount of util dumped out is almost choking.
It's as if we are playing Overwatch.
Defender Killjoy is going to...
Zev get out. Zev cannot get out. I mean, technically, Zev did in fact get out by going to the Aether Realm.
Thick manages to ensure that only 2 rifles are picked up there by the Raiders. Is not able to stick it through the 1v3 after the defender investment of the KJL, which did win them that eco round. Pretty important.
Certainly. Definitely an excellent eco round from the Raiders, tying it up 4-4. Still not a... What am I talking about? It is a very comfortable buy for them.
Yeah, we're looking pretty good for both teams as we see Coastin bringing the knives into this round. A little bit risky as we do have the KO null command here, which could force him back onto that classic.
Exactly.
Get out of my way.
The Hunter's Fury and null command here could be pretty big ults here for the defending team.
Mystical taps into tiles, alerting them, while Joey takes a commanding position with knives. Gets taken out by Keru.
making his presence known there through top mid behind market. Blugolds are now kind of stuck in a lieu of where do we go here, as they do have mid control, but aren't able to maintain the other sides of the map as Thick's turret was shot out there from B main.
Cover going out.
And we see Zev now working his way up A main to try to retake that space for his team to possibly end here in an A split. Managing to clear some of those discipline corners. He isn't sure of if there's anything in wine, but he would have gotten swung off that. Farming that orb, he's going to work his way back through mid as the Bluegolds are looking to execute through
B.
as Joey manages to take out Adrian there in the discipline corner.
Bomb buddy out.
2 people CT. The Roomba decides it wants a day off. It's going to stay inside and read.
All 4 players from the Raiders are attempting to retake here through CT. That null command is going to shut down some of that defender utility there on the spike. Zev takes out Keiru there.
Unfortunate spray.
Big trades coming in as it's 2-2 man count. Last for the Blugolds there, coming by market, is going to have to look pretty soon as they are sticking on the spike. Sprays him off the spike through the wall. Big spray.
Beautiful.
Looking for the C's, but he's sticking the other half and knocks him out.
An unfortunate win.
Big round there, though, for the Raiders. Converting off of that retake with a null command. A really important ult. Did manage to let him retake that.
Huge
Unfortunate
round.
positioning, though, from Zev. Lucky spray through the wall. Didn't manage to keep him from halving it, and that did cost him the round. Here now,
I did not expect that spray through the wall with the Phantom.
Here.
Definitely a gutsy play, which did pay off in 1 kill. Unfortunately, could not take 2.
Shadows traveling.
we see here Blugold still stacking up in that 5-person. Just Zev getting spotted by that knife, as they're on their first low buy here, besides the pistol and eco at the start of the game. Slowly defaulting here through A against the Raiders.
Misses the op shot, gets out sheriff by Thick.
Joey double satchels onto sight, takes out Mystical there by Switch. We have the lockdown invested. The op here in the hands of Kostin could be absolutely disgusting there for the attackers. Trying to keep them from planting the spike that Hunter's Fury comes in.
Salty with the judge pushes into the smoke.
The Hunter's Fury did not tag any of the Blugolds.
Turret out.
Adrian finds one, two. Once in hell, once in main. Kostin.
Nasty cross here between Kostin and Thick, though. Between the op and the Bucky there. Judge.
Thick gets a clean 75 taken off of him and takes out Adrian for the 5-5 round.
That's where you really want to have the judge there to be able to just walk around the corner and say, I don't think so.
This is certainly a very back and forth half. 2, 1, 3, 5. Very.
I don't think that's the order those numbers go in.
Hey, this is America. I can forget how to count if I darn well please.
Blugold's now stacking 5 players here by B main. Coming in the aggressive push here from the Raiders.
Keiru and Sova.
Big shot coming in from Keiru, looking to get more.
2 rounds in a row where a sheriff takes out the operator.
Big play from Zhao there, knocking out another Blugold's rifle.
3v2 Raiders versus Blugolds. Mystical ops push into the smoke with a shorty.
Blugold's going to let the eco come into them and make a couple mistakes of their own. Thick gets a little bit too aggressive, gets that body shot from the sheriff to finish him off.
Zev finds one with the prowler, but cannot find one with the bullet.
You know what they say, an opera rifle and a sheriff walk into a bar. Who comes out on top?
The police.
I think the Raiders might on this round.
Nah.
Keeping 2 players here in B main, they are smoking off, expecting the player to come try to get the spike. Just
Zeb
swinging
walks
through the smoke.
Taking out
Last
2.
player standing.
Find himself in a 1v1 against the operator, sending the fade ult in to find the player. Misses the op shot.
Misses an
Big.
off shot. Zev runs down.
Revealing area.
Big recon dart is going to spot Zev, narrowly just avoiding that shock dart that would have killed him. Is he expecting him there?
Comes down lane with a frenzy. Oh my god! Your joke did not make sense.
What?
Last round before the switch.
The sheriff, the op, and the vandal walked into a bar.
Apparently Zev
They
comes
walked
out on
in a
top.
hearse.
I think Zev walked out and they didn't
Yeah.
because they were dead. So Zev walked out of the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, as we do find the first time out here of the game called by Coaston for the Blugolds, they're looking to try to adjust and make sure rounds like that do not happen in the future.
A very beautiful clutch from Zev, however. It would be nice to make sure to secure this half with a 7-5. What can be done? And even if no planning comes out of this, we do still see a very nice 1-minute break for Eau Claire.
Hey, I know I could use it. My head is reeling after that insane clutch there by Zev to close out the round. Difficult plays call for pretty high risks, and Zev took his fair share there. Wide swinging the op, finding it to miss him. Wide swinging off the drop, manages to get the spray down in time to take out Adrian there in that post plant. Oh, we find Coaston now in possession of the op. And full rifle round after that almost converted eco there from the Raiders. Set up into 2-3, the Raiders are finding 5 Blugolds players, walking it up A main slowly and surely. Double satcheling the showstopper, finds no one contesting him in A main, sends it into A, finds no one behind dice.
Just rushing it down A, only to fake. Will they come back B? Will they spot Keiru mid? They will not. He takes out 2.
Joey gets the important trade to make sure that not another Blugold is backstabbed there from mid. Important man count advantage for the
Enemy remaining.
Raiders here as VV1 takes out 2, leaving just Salty by themselves. Slowly and quietly working his way through tree, he's looking to clear up towards window.
And KJ ends the round and the half 6-6.
Switching
Very
sides.
clean.
Split first half here, which is not something you want to see if you're the Blugolds right now, running that aggressive double duelist comp on the defensive sided map. They're going to have to get creative here.
What do you mean defensive sided? This is an offensive sided map. This is attacking sided map. Yes, it is.
My sources are telling me either way, the Blugolds are going to have a tough time here with 2 duelists on defense. Hoping to find Coaston to get some early picks here from mid. He's going to more than likely be posted up there with an op we see starting from round 3 or 4 onwards. Blugold set up here in a 3-1-1. KJ set up there from thick on A. Gets knifed. Keiru takes out Coaston, peeking from the smoke in mid.
Hard pushing into A, the Raiders are.
Caution here.
Good action.
Shot done.
Thick trying to work his picks out of tree, but does not find any as the Raiders walk through the smoke from A main. There is Keiru walking up Cat, going to catch Thick in the back. Manages to find the pick.
Can Blugolds take out the 2v3? Amazing plays from Joey and Salty. Zev takes
One
one,
enemy
1v1, and Keiru clears out pistol round with a clean 4K.
Unfortunate first round here of the half for Blugolds, as that unlucky seize from Zev there did not manage to find any trails for him to track his way to a player. We see them now gamble stacking here on their eco towards B, looking to meet head on this 5-stack here from the Raiders. These Force Supply Bulldogs are going to be quite nasty against the no shields, as they basically work as unsuppressed phantoms.
Joey takes out one with the shorty.
Big first confrontation. Blugold's managed to take out 2, while the Raiders catch 3.
Zev certainly hurt by that shock dart.
Thick looking to work some magic here with this classic. Gets taken out by Keiru, as the Raiders win their bonus round, following the same trend that have followed us here the past couple games.
Going into the 8-6 round, can we continue to see the trend for 6 halves in a row?
True indeed. This is going to be one of the most crucial swing rounds here of this series, as we see the Blugolds on their first full buy against the remains of the force buy there from the Raiders. Knife catches no one there for the Raiders, as the Blugolds now finish more towards a 2-3 setup here. 5 of the Raiders players walking their way through B main.
Blocking sight.
Salty gets locked in the market, leaving Thick alone CT.
Thick, though he was able to buy rifle and full shields, not able to buy
Down B.
as much of a setup to help him defend the site. As the Raiders take site, Blugolds are up
Spike
5-4 in man count. Make that 5-3 as Kostin finds a pick off of walkway.
Beautiful Thick. 2 people coming into main.
Last player standing.
Raze finds one shot on Adrian, but cannot find the rest. And Adrian almost takes out
Thanks.
3 players there. Blugolds end the round.
Shame.
7-8
Love explosions.
continues the trend for the entire series. Amazing.
Very big there, as we're coming into the first
There.
rifle round there for both sides here of the half. We kind of see here that the Raiders are following a similar attacking approach to the Blugolds in pretty much just 5-stacking and committing to that site every round. The first kind of deviation we're seeing from that now is with their KJ holding that B main with their turret. Because more than likely we're looking to sort of end in an A split here with a couple players going through Cat and their Omen holding A main. Blugolds here in kind of a about a 1-2-2. 2 players passively holding off the back of the smokes mid, and we have Joey working his way up through A main, about to come into contact with the Omen. Big contact coming into tree here against Salty. Salty gets 1 with the judge, gets traded up by Keiru. Mystical gets a quick peek onto Joey, knocks him out. 2 very big picks, leaving A a little bit more open to the attack. Thick trying to get a backstab in from mid, gets knocked out by just Sao. Keiru takes out 1 from heaven.
Zev takes out 1. Can we see 2? We cannot. Raiders bring it to 9-7.
Very tough loss on that round there for the Blugolds. They're going to be knocked here onto a very poor buy, hoping to just manage to be able to scrounge out 4
Kostin starts the timeouts of the half.
the next.
Have Have we run out of things to talk about?
I think not. What we're looking for here in the second half is the Blue Golds to maybe get their engines back up and rolling, as they've kind of sputtered out here in the second half of the last map. We're looking for a little bit of a morale boost here. Maybe a 4K coming in from Kostin or Joey or something a little bit crazy, a little bit nutty, like that Zev post-plant clutch there of the last half. The Raiders, though, are maintaining a nice cohesive unit, kind of following a similar attack plan to what they did last round.
Yeah.
We do see the Blue Golds making the quick audible adjust to send 4 players over towards A, 2 players possibly peeking out a tree.
An amazing play, it appears, as the Raiders have 4 on A to mid, while the Blue Golds have the exact same thing. Very aggressive. Spike is dropped but not killed.
Early Showstopper does not find anyone walking its way down A main. As we see all of the Raider players move off of A main after that Showstopper, take space through market to be, getting a free sight as Thick left there, just leaving his turret to defend by itself. Try to get a classic pick onto Keru by switch, does not find it.
Tragic. Walking up mid-top, we're going to have to go a little bit faster to hit sight. B is fully locked down with 5 people on. Spike is coming down. Keru takes out Kostin.
Placing swarm grenade.
I think we might have to find a Christmas miracle here in October for the Blue Golds to win this, as Joy takes out Adrian, getting a little bit too aggressive there in CT. Tosses the Sheriff to Joey.
Last player standing.
Joey goes for the flick, misses it on Mystical as he closes out the round for the Raiders, bringing them up 10-7 here in the second half.
See, that is the one by
Unfortunate.
geniuses, and I am a genius. So here. Here.
They really would cut off the voice line. Joey appears to have a grenade lineup for potentially Jet and Sova. Assuming they don't peek mid-top, which they are. Joey opts not to throw the nade. 3
You should
people
run.
push into garage.
Grenade!
We get to see that nade hit lane. Excellent spray from Joey. Taking out 1 through the 3 for the smoke.
Spike down B. 1 enemy remaining.
Speaking of morale here, Blue Golds may find it with Joey's 3K.
Jet gets taken out. Sova comes through mid-top to market, and Kostin takes out Adrian for an incredibly clean win.
Very important round here for the mental of Blue Golds here.
That was beautiful.
Managing to take rifles out of every single hand there of the Raiders. We still find them being able to buy here on this round. Keru opting to take the knives here. Important retake ult here in the fade. I guess Nightmare, I would say, always scares the absolute everything out of me whenever that lands on the site I'm defending. Or post planting on.
Grenade unfortunately misses going over the wall as 2 people are preparing to enter. 3 people are preparing to enter A. Joey takes out KO. Sova fails to hit Joey once with his ult. KO's finished off. Omen teleports in but dies.
Down A.
Tragic execute off the back of 2 very big ults there.
1 enemy remaining.
Joey hits a
Holy
nasty
crap.
flick off the double satchel.
Joey's going Ultra Instinct.
We do see Just Out going here, opting to save the rifle.
Going for an ult orb and maybe a sneaky kill in CT.
Here.
Kostin Showstopper does come back online for the second time this half. Hopefully we'll be able to find more value out of it the next round after this save.
What do Salty and Zev think about this?
30 seconds left.
Where are you?
I
Not-
recognize this view from any Killjoy game on Tibets.
True, true. As the Bluegolds close out this round, narrowing
10
the
seconds
score
left.
here to be 9-10 Bluegolds to Raiders. Some big ults are now starting to come online. After not investing the knives, but instead investing both Hunter's Fury and the Null Command, without managing to take sight, the Raiders have to be hurting after that one. Two
Certainly.
big execute and post plant ults no longer available to them. Being forced back now into a split buy, the Raiders are now kind of pedaling on their back feet here, trying to get something rolling back on attack after that crucial timeout the Blugolds took.
Raiders appear to be having 4 on A or mid, while the Bluegolds are genuinely spread out. They're creeping up into tree. Sova's drone checking it out.
Off the back of that drone, though, the Raiders do get full tree control as they see Keiru entering onto site, getting one pick, finding two
Can
picks.
Salty find Adrian?
Caution here. Shock dart.
Salty finds Keiru. Adrian retreats to Cubby. Mystical gets bombed down. Just saying everything that happens.
Two big picks there as they found one big post plant agent and another fellow who was starting to heat up here in the round.
KO advances into Hell. Will they find KO
Last player standing.
and Omen? Raiders close out the round 9-11.
Difficult cross to drop into when you're coming out of heaven.
Certainly.
Two players in Hell is almost impossible to clear unless you have some bankable util like a Sova Shock Dart or possibly a flash to throw down
Definitely.
there. Man, I could go for a nice good can of Bush's baked beans right now.
Bush's baked beans, yes.
We see the
People
Bluegolds
always
now
at 2
kind of
a.m. looking for
walking
beans.
in to what sort of initially was a 2-1-2 is now quickly shifting into a 1-1-3 as we're drawing the rotate over towards A, especially off that orb, giving them audio.
Take flight.
Not investing the spike into that A take, but the drone for some info finds nothing there on site for Adrian.
Nothing but Killjoy util. Shock darting the fake as Fade's Nightmare catches Adrian. Will Kosen do anything about Killjoy and KO?
One suppressed.
He will!
Narrowly missing the collateral there off the op shot. Gets smoked off from Salty.
Will Salty find KO on lane?
Stealing sight.
Spike
Kosen
planted.
takes 3 with the op. Do we see 4? Do we see an ace? We do not. Adrian's in market. The round closes out to 10-11. Beautiful retake from Bluegolds.
Would have liked to have seen Zeb throw that fade out there for the retake, not having invested it to try to scare away potential players from A, but hey, it ended up positive for the end there for the Bluegolds.
Every play is a good play if we win the round. It does appear that Grazzo is calling another timeout.
Bit of a predicament here for both teams as they're trying to adjust here on the fly. Work coming in from both coaches to try to call audibles and adjustments for their teams to kind of start to counter what the other team's tendencies have kind of
Certainly.
developed into. For the Go ahead.
No, you.
For the Bluegolds here, kind of calling to a difference of their early like 2-1-2 plays I'm expecting them to kind of draw earlier rotates, as more often than not, the Raiders have stuck to a 4 or 5 man take to the site that they initially showed presence on, which has slowly been flowering into more fakes, I guess, as the rounds have progressed. But
Definitely.
likely after this timeout, they're going to be going back to that more cohesive structure that has worked for them at this second half of the game.
Of course.
But hey, who knows what mind games may be in store here for both teams.
Speaking of audibles, do you find it at all interesting that Brimstone, the first agent of the game, actually has a line speaking of audibles, yet timeouts are only seen in tournament play?
Turret out.
Interesting. As we see, the Raiders going into a 2-1-2 kind of split attack here. The Blugolds have a couple players invested towards mid, working their way over towards B.
Jet diff.
I'm showing some presence here in B main. The Blugolds are looking to keep their sights all tight and untouched here from the attacking Raiders. That early pick, though, from mid is going to be important here, as it's hard to take space without your Jet here on Ascent.
Definitely. It does appear that Joey has taken a sizable amount of space in Garage, yet that doesn't seem to matter, as we see all of Raiders enter through tree to A. Spike's coming down on Generator.
We see a clown car of players kind of tucked in the corner there, just to the left of door. Now, 2 of them explode out into tree.
Omen finds Jet. Raze finds Omen. No one's in hell.
One enemy remaining.
From the low player on site,
Adrian takes out 2. The ult's invested. But that doesn't seem to matter. Tying the round. Blugold's Raiders 11-11 with 11 on the clock.
hey, you know what they say, make a wish. And if I were to make a wish, I wouldn't tell you. Otherwise, it wouldn't come true. 11-11?
Oh, true. Actually, it's 10-20.
I see 11-11 on my screen right now, as the Blugolds are looking to kind of
11-11.
formulate a way to keep those rotates flowing as they set back up into that 2-1-2. We do see kind of more of a formulaic approach for the Raiders coming in that KJ space holding by B and 4 players kind of juggling back and forth
Getting ready
between
to
A
push
main and
A.
mid.
We're seeing Jets taking... Jeez, which one's Jet? There we go.
Planting VVI in A main for info is a little bit strange, as being the sole flashing initiator on this team, he's kind of important for breaking out of smokes that might stall him out there
Certainly.
on their execute.
Flashbang.
Sending a flash there to sell more of a fake. We see the Raiders working their way through B. Coulson holding the
takes one.
pixel.
Spike down.
Does
B.
pick one. Backs up now for an off angle above boxes.
You should run.
Attacker Killjoy being invested here. Hoping to clear off some players from B.
The lockdown's taken out.
Very nice paint shells from Joey to break that down.
Last player standing. Spike
Joey
down.
picking up
3v1
2 as they try to
Bluegolds
exit.
versus Raiders. It is match point now.
Match point.
LMFAO.
Very important round. The investment from that KJ ult without even the planting of the spike is going to hurt a little bit there for the Raiders, as they're going to have to kind of bank off of the fact that they have a null command to just sort of rush down on B site here.
Of course.
Looking for a fast execute. I'm expecting to see that paranoia there thrown out from Mystical there to take out any early aggression, possibly peeking B main.
Mystical instantly paranoia is trying to take out Jet. Jet takes out KO. It's a full rush in. Sova revives KO with multiple left. Jet runs into CT with the Judge, taking out 2. Omen follows.
Judge
three.
rush coming in. You hate to see it. Really screws over the Blue Golds here. As Carey picks up the op, holding that CT push.
2v5. We've seen it work before. Can Zevin Salty clutch up?
Dispatched.
One down. KOC main. 2 down, 3v2.
Not enough time to defuse, but hoping
They
to
don't
take
see
some rifles
Sova.
out of the hands.
Last player standing.
An unfortunate loss, bringing it into overtime
Switching
for
sides.
match 3.
Overtime.
Their backs will be towards at least one of us.
We saw a hint of a judge poking out there from Mystical. Hopefully we won't be seeing any of those the rest of the game.
Hopefully not. With 5,000 credits, we can buy pretty much everything except for an operator and shields or util.
Well, we still do see an operator coming out for the Blue Golds here on the attacking side. In the hands of Kostin.
We do.
Yep.
Jet has already used her util. Very confident in this position. Takes
Big
out one.
opening pick. That's
Ends
going to
up
scare off
player
any
tree.
defenders trying to contest mid behind arches there. As we see, Blue Gold's now working 3 players through mid, 2 walking towards B.
I think I might take back what I say about the Orion gun.
Paranoia pushing through market, sees 2 players swing up with it.
3 people entering B main.
Joey trades out Salty.
VV1 flashes.
Spike planted.
3v3 post plant.
Stealing sight.
Lane is paranoid. Thick is forced to drop there on the site. Kostin finds
takes
one
out
with the
KO
op.
easily.
One
Ults.
remaining. Last player standing.
A nice 4K from Kostin. 13-12. Can we see a 14-12 victory for the Blue
Switching
Golds?
sides. Match point.
Possibly the Oracle is just off by a handful of games. Initially calling for a 14-12 there on Sunset. We may find it here on Ascent.
See?
As the Blue Golds are now shifting out into what will kind of end up being as possibly their last defense here of the series.
Timeout is active for this overtime round.
This is a crucial time. This is where I'd be giving those pep talks, promising ice cream after the big game for my little champs right here if I was Caleb and the coach of the Raiders. Various pings going across the map, up by Cat, over by B main, possibly signifying sort of lurk through mid-Cat there, or at least early recon from the Sova, and finishing towards a B hit.
Certainly. And we're off into the... Oh, wait, no, we're not. 5 seconds left, and we are off into the new match. It appears a shorty was bought for Kostin.
Blue Gold switching up into
generous.
a 1-2-2. Kostin holding a pixel there on A main is not going to find any players walking into that, as 4 are rushing it
Wild
up.
entry into mid.
4 players rushing it through market to B. It's going to be a tough fight there for the Blue
Mystical's
Golds.
blinded.
Thick is left alone there on site, hoping to find his one.
Find Omen. He cannot, as a bullet goes through a wall to kill him. Keiru takes out Kostin. Joey brings it down to a 3v4.
Blugold's looking to even out the man advantage, finding trades going back and forth here.
One enemy remaining.
Get out of my way.
Click on.
What the fuck? There we go.
As Zev stuck now here in a 1v2 situation, looking to break down this crossfire of the two players stuck here in Boathouse.
Can they close out the game here?
Tapping.
Please.
Looking for his duels, does not manage to win it against VV1,
Mrs. KO brings it to 13-13.
extending this overtime here for another couple of rounds.
I do apologize for that last round. It appears I found a new keybind. Look at that. Let's see this cool Cypher Cam spot.
We see the Blugolds going back to basics here, bringing a couple people in a really odd call here to send a paranoia right away.
They appear to be doing something that the Raiders successfully tried going into the last round of the second half. Rays double satches in as Salty sprays through smoke. Kairu's already found Coastin with the operator.
Silvadrone clearing out mid as the Blugolds are looking to work their way through there, possibly ending in a B split.
Definitely.
Prowlers sent through.
Killjoy and Jet come to A. It does not appear that we are leaving mid to B yet. Omen and Raze in a perfect standoff.
Not expecting to find the op in the back of that smoke. Joey does find a paint shell pick on VV1
Omen
as Adrian
finds
misses
Joey.
the trade out.
30 seconds left. One enemy remaining.
And Zev. Can we see the 1v4 victory from Thick? There's one. And cannot do enough damage, bringing it to 14-13
Switching sides.
Raiders.
Match point.
Match point, will we see a timeout called for Blugolds?
Here.
Only time will tell.
Here. Here.
Indeed, we're seeing both teams now just sticking to the five-man kind of defaults or splits here for their respective sites, as we do have the Blugolds setting up in a 1-2-2 defense here. Smoking off Cat. Coastin looks for the early pick on Kairu, does find it. The Space Maker is gone for the Raiders. Players now working through B main for the Raiders. Coastin finds another one off VV1, dirty angle.
Down goes two. Can we see down three? Down three.
Adrian with very little health here, and the spike is looking to
Less
make
than a
something
Vandal
happen.
shot. CSGO action. Blugolds can play it slow. We don't hear a rotate.
They're playing everywhere they need to right now, as we have Thick cutting off the rotate
And
through
Thick
spawn.
even has rotate as, yeah.
And we have
One
Silva
enemy
catches
remaining.
Zev.
Salty trades out
Spike
Zev.
down B.
As we see
30
Mystical
seconds
there on
left.
site, just getting the plant down, hoping to
Omen
find
plants
some
site.
magic working here. As Thick and Salty are trying to work in tandem here to retake the
Fully
site.
blinded.
Working both of them down the stairs, making sure to never let one peek without the other. Salty
And
finds the
Salty
kill.
takes out Mystical. 14-14. This is getting intense.
Bomb grenade out.
Big round there to ensure the extension
What
of
is
our
the
overtime
answer?
here.
Switching sides.
Salty with the big frag.
Overtime.
Looks like these grooves are going to keep running in parallel until either one team makes a fatal mistake or someone does something unconventional enough to break up the kind of standard of attack winning here, or the back and forth between these teams. We see the Raiders setting up in a 2-3 with KO knifing for mid.
Of course. Raze aggressively enters.
Big early info there off of the recon dart.
Raze grenade gets this, or Nanoswarm gets destroyed at switch. Will we see the one boat?
Adrian's stuck
Adrian
alone
takes
in
out
boat.
Coast, and Salty takes out Adrian.
Spike planted.
Mystical's running through spawn in a 4v4 post plant. VV1 hurts Zeb. Salty finds one. Can he find two?
Last player standing. Last player standing.
Thick in the 1v1 now, post plant.
1v1.
This.
A
And
good
Thick
swing.
takes out Keiru. 14-15.
Very important round to win there, as the Bluegolds are going to try to keep this momentum rolling here on defense.
Incredibly.
Placing sentry. Alarm bot out. Placing swarm grenade. Placing swarm grenade.
Nothing.
We see the Bluegolds here now in a 1-2-2, hoping to maintain that mid control that's been so crucial here on their
30th
defending
round
rounds.
begins.
Coastin, big early pick again.
Excellent.
That first blood is taking out smokes, which is going to be very important here for the Raiders, as it's going to be very difficult to execute onto sites against that op. Being unable to
Salty
smoke
takes
through.
out Adrian. A commanding 5-3 lead with two people stuck on mid-top and one anchoring B. What's going to happen between Thick and Just Zao?
With having both the Sova and the Omen to not be able to clear that op off an angle, it's going to be very difficult for the Raiders to make their way onto a site. So they leave A site and where they suspect the op to be, and instead elect to work their way through this KJ util onto B site.
KO meets up with Killjoy as
30
Jet
seconds left.
attempts to take a pick mid.
Spotted by the jump
Joey
spot
sees
there from
Jet.
Joey.
All three in B main.
We're going to do a fast execute.
Running out of time in a 3v3.
Seconds left.
Spike's coming down.
All Thick has to do is
Spike's
stop the
down.
plant.
One enemy
All we have to
remaining.
do is live, and the game is won for the Bluegolds.
Finding their way through the tough
Supposed to say victory.
overtime.
Beautiful game. "30 whole rounds." That was crazy. A beautiful game played from both sides. Honestly, an amazing series. Nice to see our home team closing it out 2-1. Just amazing series.
Yeah, hard fought through the 30-plus rounds of overtime we just went through. Through the highs and lows of what we saw, I think the rising tide of the momentum
Exactly.
carrying through the hard-fought loss there on Breeze for the first round, or
Yeah.
first map for Bluegolds, really carried them through. They kind of surfed their way through over the highs and lows and ended up here on top, managing to crest their wave here over the Raiders.
Yeah. We've seen some amazing moments. I'd like to point out Zev's 1v3 clutch back on, what was that, round something in the sends. Beautiful. Probably couldn't have won the game without it. There were so many clutch moments, I can't even begin to recollect them all. Honestly, what a great way to close out the night.
Great way to close out the night. Between the op shots coming in from Coastin, the double satchels from Joey there closing out the map for them. Thick clutching it up there with the denial of the plant in that final round. All around, everyone contributing and playing their roles here for Blugold Esports. MSOE
Definitely.
Raiders, good games, everyone. Good luck in your next one.
Of course. And good luck in your next games. And be sure to follow us on our socials below at Blugold Esports on X, formerly known as Twitter. Forgot to transition. Blugold Esports on X, formerly known as Twitter. Blugold Esports on Instagram. And Blugold Esports on YouTube.